America's a big fucking casino. You gotta have money to play. And if you don't, you're one of the wage slaves. You're one of the wage slaves in the casino. You're cleaning the bathroom. You're a dealer. You're a cashier, or you're one of the guys working security. That's it. That's the whole thing. Again, I'm not telling you what's out here is better, because again, that's another illusion. That's another lie. It's another form of comparison, and we're trying to get away from all the lies. We're trying to live in the light. We're trying to live in truth. And so, what's the truth? Everything is crazy unaffordable, and you can go and live your life exactly how they told you to. But, like we said earlier, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. So if you commit to that plan, that's okay. That's a great life still. But just wave goodbye to absolutely everything else. Everybody's going out for a drive today because it's nice out. I say it's nice out, but it's fucking hot. It's fucking hot. I'm sweating my fucking dick off. And we got to do an hour of this. I'm not saying that to complain. I'm saying it because it's what it is. I'm saying exactly what it is, guys. That is the show. That is the show. Welcome to the Seabass Show. My name is Seabass. Today, we're going to be talking about philosophy and what makes a good life and a bunch of other crap like that. But first, we're going to take some fan mail. We're going to take some calls. Remember, if you guys want to leave a message, you have a funny story, you have something you want to talk about, your girlfriend left you, your dad touched your butt, call in, let's talk about it. Maybe your mom doesn't love you like she should, and she shouldn't. You aren't lovable. We're going to get into all that and much more as we continue into this, and we'll discover why you are unlovable. Like I said, guys, it's a comedy show, so if I say anything that offends you, you change the video. It's the internet, guys. None of this matters. I don't know if the internet has done this for you guys. It's kind of done this to me, where I just don't even think anything matters anymore. I don't know if that's the internet's fault. That might just be life beating me down, but putting yourself out there online expands your threshold for discomfort, like social discomfort, in a way that's like you just straight up do not give a fuck anymore what anyone thinks about you. I'm getting like thousands of comments every month, and a lot of them are negative. A lot of them are super positive. Fucking love you guys for that. But like, my point is, you can't let other people think about you dictate what you're gonna do or think or feel, man. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, so let's get into the show a little bit, and let's look at some of these voicemails.
The world is cold and hard, but titties are soft and warm. God damn, are the things they attach to mean. Look, I wish women were nice people. All right, y'all have a good one now.
It's like we want it so bad. We want those titties. We want them. And then sometimes, gotta be careful what you ask for, because them things the titties are attached to, they're mean. They are mean as all get out. But they kind of have to be, because men are also awful.
Hey, dude, keep it up, brother.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. He just left a voicemail that said, hell yeah, keep it up. And we've got a DM from a listener, okay? Just so you guys are aware, you can leave a voicemail, call the number, you can leave an email, or you can leave a DM, and I'll get back to it as soon as I can, okay? This is Josh, 19. My girlfriend just left me, and I'm very upset. I haven't been able to sleep for weeks. I don't eat. I'm crazy depressed, and it feels like life is never going to be good again. Thinking about dropping out of school, that's not good. He goes on here for a little while, but we're not going to read all that. It gets pretty bad. They all leave, dude. Just have fun while it's your turn. Just have fun while it's your turn. And then when you are single, don't go whoring around and stuff. Just jerk off. Just jerk off. You don't need an STD or a fucking pregnancy, or those are extreme examples. But the rest of the time, it's just a distraction. Chasing girls is just a distraction. You waste a bunch of money on dates, and just like the literal time that you're investing in bitches, you could just be spending making your shit happen. Like, instead of every night, swiping on Tinder or texting a bunch of bitches trying to get some pussy, how about you put your phone away and you focus on getting your studying done, going to practice, getting your work done, working that six to midnight, getting your side hustle going, getting your business off the ground. We got work to do, gentlemen. And I say gentlemen, I know there's some women that listen to this, but you all know that you don't matter, and you know that I don't value you. So I'm speaking directly to the men most of the time. You're 19, so sounds like you just had your first little heartbreak, bud. And they call it a heartbreak because it feels like your heart has broken, like inside. Your whole perception of reality has shattered and changed and altered. And sometimes if you stay there long enough, you can become depressed, where you're dragging yourself around, and you kind of lose your goals, you lose your ambition, you lose the initiative. Right? Like, maybe you had a good momentum, you had the drop on all your goals, and you were locked in, you were getting things done, and maybe having a girlfriend or a wife or whatever was part of that. Like, all right, I got my girl, we're good, check that box, and you keep going, and so it feels like the rest of your life, you can focus on the rest of your life because you're all good there, and you're not whore chasing, you're not out fooling around, chasing girls, talking to girls, you're not, running around trying to set up a bunch of random dates and stuff. So, like, having a girlfriend or a wife can actually be really good for you, because obviously, besides the companionship and like the love and all the good things, just for your own life, your personal life and your business life, it can be good because there's less distractions almost, so it sounds like she was pretty big part of your life, but also you're 19, so when you're young like that, everything feels like the end of the world, especially girls, but the thing you got to remember, bro, is this too shall pass. And I know that sounds crazy, but really, time does make everything better. You just got to kind of thug it out. That's the best advice I would give you about that. Just thug it out. If you're going through a breakup, if you're feeling bad, well, and that's for everything in life, just thug it out. Be a man. That's the best fucking advice you ever hear. Just be a fucking man. You're feeling sad, just that little voice in your head that talks to you, just be a man. Talk to yourself. Be a man. Thug it out. We got this, dude. This ain't shit. That's how you got to talk. That's how you have to be. That's how you have to think. Because it's not about whether that's true or not. Does that make sense? It's about how you carry yourself. It's not true that nothing hurts and you're invincible to pain. Being ice cold it's like being stoic. It's like, this isn't going to change the plan. Does that make sense? Being ice cold, you can have feelings and stuff, but it means you're not going to let the feelings dictate what you do next. If you want to succeed in life, you have to have a plan, okay? And if you're really young, you're 19, you don't know enough about the world or what you want out of life or anything to make a complete plan. So what you do is you're just flying, you're building the ship as you fly it. You're driving the car as you drive it. Or you're building the car as you drive it, whatever. But you have to go. Yeah, you got to do it. And part of that is being decisive, not just sitting around asking, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I? Just make a decision, go, boom. And the other half of it is, not now that you've started executing your plan, just staying committed to it. Okay, so like a breakup changes your whole plan. Okay, it can feel like it changed your whole plan because your routine's messed up, what you were doing every day is messed up. You were used to getting regular puss, and now you gotta fucking maybe just go back to jerking off. Which, by the way, hey kid, 19, doesn't sound like you got any kids. stick it out. Stick that way. Stay that way. Stay single. Freaking jerk off. Because I'm telling you right now, unless you are with like the one, okay, unless you have both decided to just like commit to each other and that's it and you're good, just freaking jerk off, dude. Don't go whore chasing. You're not missing out. You're not missing out. Just freaking rub one out and then get back to work, bro. Because going around like sleeping around and stuff, bro, what you're doing is you're wasting your time. Yeah, it can be fun, but most of the time it's terrible. First of all, most women are not fun to hang out with. Like, they're very boring. We don't have similar interests. Like, men and women do not have similar interests in general. So there's not a lot to talk about. There's not a lot. So like, in general, like, it's gonna be a bad hang. And then on top of that, like, all that comes from sex usually is like bad feelings, STDs, and unwanted pregnancy. So like what like 99% of hookups are terrible. So like what do you so just what I'm saying is don't go that direction either. Now that you're going through this breakup, just feel these bad feelings, bruh. Jerk off and thug it out. That's what I would do. Because like the thing, you heard that saying, get under somebody else to get over somebody. The problem is the wanting. You have not addressed the wanting, the desire. And that is the true source of the suffering. Your mental suffering is caused by a lot of things, but one of them is the illusion of desire. The illusion of desire. So basically what you have to do is like get yourself to a point mentally and spiritually where you don't want anymore. What is so bad about just chilling? Just you, big dog. Why do you have to have somebody? Why do you have to be entertaining bitches? Like why can't you just get the money, go see your boys, go to bed, or whatever your little routine is. Get some money, go do your little hobby, whatever. If you do jujitsu, if you're a skateboarder, you fucking do art, fucking whatever, you know. And then the other last little piece of advice I'll give you on a breakup situation, dude, you know, get a life. Get a life, you know, thug it out. Number one piece of advice. And then other number one piece of advice right there, get a life. So like, if you got time to sit around missing her and being sad and stuff, that means, especially as a young person, like 19, dude, you need to be working, making shit happen. Like, I'm not saying like work in a factory 8 hours a week, but like go live, make yourself live, go try new shit, go fucking make some shit happen, go force yourself to make some new friends, go try something out and try to make some friends there, go fucking, I mean, you got YouTube and ChatGPT now, so you could be learning how to do all kinds of shit. You shouldn't be sitting around doing nothing. Gives you time to fucking think. You just basically want to eliminate thinking. Thinking doesn't do anything for you except cause suffering. Good and bad thinking. You don't want to think at all. Ready? We're going to try it right now. Just breathe. Big breath in and out 3 times. Do it on your own. And while you're listening to this, just sit there and breathe. The space between your thoughts is where all the magic is. In Eastern philosophy, Eastern religion, it's nirvana. Okay, you have achieved nirvana when you are experiencing life, when you are experiencing the present moment. Okay, and so anyway, that's a whole lot of information, basically just to say, you know, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, dude. It's gonna be okay. Fear keeps us alive. It's kept us alive for thousands of years, our ancestors and everything. But now, where we live in a modern society filled with modern comforts outside of the food chain, we don't have lions and bears and stuff chasing us anymore. That feeling, that prehistoric reptilian part of your brain that causes fear when you hear a twig snap or you see a dark cave, that's to keep you alive. Or like when you hear a predator or you see a predator, or you see a pack of strangers, like human beings are the scariest fucking thing on the planet, dude. If you see a pack of human beings and you never seen them before, it's usually trouble. Like, unless you know they're a neighboring tribe and you guys have like a trade relationship, you don't want to see strangers in your area, bro. So, my point is, fear still exists in our minds, and it's largely useless. Not only is it useless, it's detrimental. It's a distraction. It's a killer. It will keep you in a box. Fear keeps you in a box because once you're in that box, you are comfortable now. Even if the box itself is uncomfortable, like there's no furniture in a box, you have to sleep on the floor. If it, like, picture yourself in like a literal big gigantic box that you can't get out of. That's what fear does. Okay, and only you can free yourself from the fear. No one's coming to pick you up out of the box. No one's coming to burn the box down or kick the wall down and, hey, come on, we're getting out. Nope, it's just you, dude. So what you got to do in that moment is realize, and it's something that you have to do daily, sometimes multiple times a day, depending where you're at in your awakening journey, your spirituality, whatever, your awareness, your consciousness journey, where fear does not dictate anything, any aspect of your life. You can still experience fear and feel the fear, whatever, but it doesn't change what you do next. And I'm kind of bringing that back up because I started to say earlier that how you feel should not dictate what you do next. How you feel doesn't change the plan. You made a plan to work out every day, get your studying done, get your work done, hang with your girl. In this case, you don't have it, so you need to replace that with something else that's good, that isn't going and getting fucked up, going and fucking hanging out with shit people, going and hanging out with a bunch of bitches that you're just going to waste your time. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are taking care of you. And fear is not doing that anymore. Like I was trying to talk about earlier, fear is left over from a time when there was literal monsters trying to kill us or other human beings trying to kill us all the time. And you had to be awake at night sometimes to watch the camp. And now fear is like, don't go talk to that girl. Fear is, don't try that new thing. People are going to make fun of you. Now fear is, don't get up in front of these people and talk. They're going to make fun of you. It's just useless bullshit. It's like you got this little bitch. Fear is like this little inner bitch in you. It's that little part of your brain that you can't get rid of. It's like this little bitch boy that hangs out with you all day. And if you listen to him, if you take advice from him, you're fucked. Like you gotta get really good at telling him to shut up. Like when you're anxious about a thing, just try to get excited about it instead. Make a decision to get pumped up instead of withdrawn. Because everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Instead of hiding and saying no, say yes. Because even if you don't get the outcome that was supposedly coming to you because you took the leap, now you got, I guess what I'm trying to say is, even if you don't get exactly what you said you were going to get, and you get less than, or nothing, or whatever, the greatest reward is when your comfort zone has expanded, or your threshold for discomfort has expanded, or your tolerance for pain has either vanished or again expanded. Meaning, you go and you see a little more, you learn a little more, you figure out a little more, and anyway, basically just a lot of word salad, a lot of rambling to say that you are feeling bad right now in this breakup because you are afraid. You're afraid that you will never find someone that means that much to you again. You're afraid that you won't even believe in feeling that. You won't let yourself feel that way again. Like when somebody is in your life and they're very important to you. Again, not family. We're talking about a relationship. We're talking about someone you chose to have in your life. Not like you were born into family, but when you start dating somebody, it's like you're choosing to spend time with them, right? Okay, so it's all fear. And once you see that, it's an illusion, meaning it's not real. It is a falsehood. It is non-existent. It is just something you have bought into, you believe in. You can get past it. You can stop choosing to allow that fear to dictate what you're going to do next, or to allow, like, for example, all right, so for example, if you're an athlete and you get beat up at practice really bad, or you're really sore from practice, okay, the plan is practice every day. So if you wake up tomorrow and you're really sore and tired, you don't want to go, and you're feeling achy and bad, do you get to take the day off? Fuck no. Because how you feel does not change the plan. Maybe you'll dial back the intensity or do some mobility, or you'll alter your training, but the plan stays the same. How you feel does not change the plan. Does that make sense? The plan only changes when it needs to, meaning you got new information that you're not getting the outcome you want, or you're on a trajectory to not get the outcome you want. Now you can change the plan, right? Okay, this isn't working. Let's change the plan. By the way, that's not quitting. That's being smart. You're going through this breakup and you're afraid that you're never going to feel this way again. You're never going to meet someone like this again. You really want this one person. There's 8 billion people on the planet, but this person is so special. And honestly, maybe they are. Maybe they are great. And to be honest, you probably won't meet someone like them again. You won't. Like that is part of it. Like that's okay. So, but the point is, sometimes we speak in incomplete sentences and we don't even know it. You say, I'm never going to meet anyone like her again. And you think that's a complete sentence. You think that's a complete thought. But in reality, you're creating a narrative in your own mind that you are believing. You're saying, I'm never going to meet anyone like her again. And that's a problem. And that's the end of the world. That's the complete sentence you're actually saying. What you need to change is the complete sentence to, I'm never going to meet anyone like her. She was great. She was very special. We had a lot of fun together. And that's okay. She's great. I wish her the best. I think she's great. Or you know what? If she's the worst and you never want to meet anyone like her again, say she was the worst. I hated it. I was awful. We had horrible experiences. Never had one good memory. And now we're broken up. And everything's going to be okay. So basically just saying all that to say, bud, you're 19. You can do anything you want with your life. You can do anything you want. But you can't do everything. You cannot do everything. So I would just say, if you're going through that breakup, just go try some new shit. Okay. Or, you're 19, you probably haven't had too many relationships or whatever. Go find out what you like. That's what I would say. Life's pretty much all about making a long list of things you don't want to do anymore. That's why you see old people do the same 3 things all day, because they've already done a bunch of other stuff and they're just like, yeah, you know what? This is good. I'm good. I like going to bingo. I like sitting on my porch drinking coffee. I like seeing my friend at the diner. I like going to bed at 8. I don't want to. So like when you're young, you make fun of old people, but it's like it makes sense. Life's just a long, long journey of creating a list of things you don't want to do anymore, right? Like how many times have you been doing something and you don't even realize it's the last time you're ever going to do it? Playing a pickup game of basketball, telling someone you love them, having sex. Sometimes you have sex for the last time and you had no idea. You just die. Some of you haven't had sex in years. And you're like, fuck, if I known that was going to be the last time, I would have really fucking done it good. Instead, you blew your load in 20 seconds and freaking rolled over and went to bed. But yeah, let's speak on that for a second. I just said, you get to pick anything you want to do. You can do anything. I believe that. I really believe that you can do anything you want with your life. You can spend your life trying to do anything. You can't look. You don't even have to be a big dreamer to believe that. You can try doing anything. You can go try to make it happen. You can go do it. But you cannot do everything. You have to pick one. Unless you're super mega rich and you got the money to pay a lot of people to do other shit for you. And then like make more use of your time, be more efficient or whatever. Otherwise, if you are living this life, you got to be okay just pretty much doing, at least at a time. And that's sort of the magic part of like at a time. Because you can try something for a couple years and decide it's not for you, and then you're on to the next thing, and then it turns out to just be a chapter in your life, and then by the end of your life you look back and you've had a couple of nice chapters, versus you just sit around never making a decision about what you want to do. Should I go in the military? Should I go to school? Should I just go in the workforce? Should I get a trade? Should I start an apprenticeship? Should I go work for free for somebody and hope that I learn a lot from them? There's a million options when you're coming out of school, and you just got to go try shit. You just got to go try shit and figure out what's going to work for you. That's the only way. But yeah, I want to share this little piece of, I'm sure this will come up again on the show, but this is very personal and important to me. It's something I had to learn the hard way. A lot of people tried telling me for a long time, but again, I had to learn the hard way. And I hope if you're 17, 18 years old watching this, right, that you hear it and something clicks and you're like, yep, he's right. So you can do anything, but you can't do everything. You're not going to be a world-class athlete, the best husband in the world, the best father in the world, the CEO of a company, real estate mogul, famous actor, famous stand-up comedian, famous podcaster, famous outdoors explorer, famous whatever. All these fucking fantasies or ways you can spend your time, whatever delusions you have in your head, okay? You got to pick one. And even that is like, that's a long shot that one thing will happen. But it's a way better chance than if you're splitting your time. Because there's only 24 hours in a day. You're going to sleep for fucking 8 of them or more because you're a fucking fat. You're probably fat, and if you're listening to this, you got potato chips on your chin and your chest, and you're probably stoned. So you already like blew your fucking self in the face with a gun. As soon as you fucking get high, like you fucking eat a face full of edibles or you smoke a fat ball or a joint or whatever, you're basically just blowing your fucking day away. You might as well just blow your whole day with it. Anyway, so my point is, this is like, you're constantly distracted. You're endlessly distracted. You got an 8-hour workday, 10, 12-hour workday. So after you sleep and go make your money to pay your bills, you've got 8 hours left. You're going to spend a couple hours of that commuting probably. You got a couple hours left to, fit entertainment in, game and watch TV and movies, hang out with your girl, whatever. And if you got a family, now you got to hang out with kids. So my point is time is very limited. The average person's day is packed full of crap they don't even want to do. They're just like dragging themselves from one thing to the next. Oh, fuck, the alarm went off. I got to go to work. You go to work and you fucking hate your life all day there. You hate everyone. You wish you could just fucking walk out and never come back and never speak to these people again. Maybe there's like one or two you really get along with, but everybody else is just the worst. You just wish every day you could look at them and say, "You disgust me." This is what most people fantasize about. Saying at work, there's like the classic cliche of like taking a shit on your boss's desk and walking out. But I think most people just want to like look at their least favorite coworker while they're eating their lunch, like this, and just tell them exactly how they feel. You disgust me. You make me sick. You make me sick. You're a fat slob. And I wish you'd go home and kill yourself. You make everyone's day worse when you come to work. I hate you. I fucking hate you. I wish I could chain ropes and chains around your ankles and wrists and have motorcycles drive in opposite directions and pull you apart. And hopefully you don't bleed out just yet, because we're going to have more fun. We're going to cauterize this wound so you don't bleed out. Then we're going to, well, we can't say what we're going to do next, because this will get, taken down and reported and stuff. But you're a nugget, so we're going to do what we do to nuggets. Then we're going to disembowel you and set you on fire. Everybody knows somebody that they would like to say all that to at work. Everybody. And if you can't think of anybody, it's probably you that everybody's thinking about. They would love to say that about. Oh, man. I got sidetracked there talking about disemboweling people and pulling them apart with motorcycles. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say with this little bit here, guys, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. So try to pick one, and as you get more and more clarity on what the objective is, you'll become more disciplined. You'll kind of shave away what's not important. You'll set better priorities. You'll use your time better. All those things. Like again, trying to make it more personal. Tell you guys a little bit about my life. I used to be an amateur fighter. I started boxing when I was 14. Started jiu-jitsu in my 20s. And at 24, I started competing, in the amateurs, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, everything. And I was like all in. I was like, man, this is fucking sweet. I love this shit. I love the training. I love the physicality, right? Like, I love leaving the gym feeling like spent, I loved competing, man. I love getting in there and just overcoming the fear was the best fucking feeling in the world. Win, lose, or draw. You left that fight feeling empowered. Literally empowered. Like fucking dumbass HR feminist bullshit, speak. Use that word all the time. Empowered. I mean, I'm so empowered. Feminists use that word. I'm so empowered. But empowered means you have fucking power. If you're empowered, it means you're not afraid. When you walk away from a fight, or you walk away from a hard training session, whatever, okay? And especially if you've been doing it for years, right? And you're like getting like better. You feel invincible. It's the best feeling in the world. You don't walk around afraid of other men. You should not. If you're a grown man and you get uncomfortable when another man walks in the room, it's because he could probably beat the fuck out of you and take your shit. And again, not trying to like turn this into some crap. I want this to be a comedy show. I'm not trying to turn this into whatever. Okay, but like, if you're a young man watching this, fucking learn how to fight. It's a superpower that you can't buy it. You can't buy it. It's just like, again, I'm not even trying to talk like I'm nobody. Like, I'm fucking nobody. Everybody in the UFC can whoop my ass. I'm not saying I'm a badass or anything. I'm just saying the average man, like if you have trained jiu-jitsu and boxing and kickboxing, all that for years, the average man is not going to be able to touch you, especially if you're like in decent shape. If you get like super out of whack and like no mobility, but even then, like an out of shape guy who's been training for years is gonna play with whoever has untrained like a child. And I'm saying all this because this was my dream. I was totally in love with it. And then I had a couple of really bad losses in a row. And I started to look at life big picture, like looking down the line. And I was looking at how I was spending my life, spending my time. How am I spending my day? And I was like, oh man, let's look at what life is. Not what we want it to be. What is it right now? How am I spending my day right now? Like, how am I actually looking? spending my day? Let's look at it. I was working, 9 to 5. I had a girlfriend, freaking training twice a day when I was in camp, right? You had a morning session, a little afternoon session. And so, and then on top of that, I was also like trying to do little crap like this and shooting videos and kind of doing a podcast. Anyway, my point is I had a lot of crap going on. And I got to a point, especially after those last couple of losses, where I was like, you need to go all in on something and really give it a shot. And then if it doesn't work out, you can look back on it and be like, you know what? We really fucking went for it. And you can live without the regret or the remorse of like, I wish I had tried harder, or like, I wish I had done these. That's the worst feeling in the world, is when you can look back at decisions you made where you had a lack of discipline or a lack of commitment, right? Not when someone is better than you because they've been training longer or were better or whatever, or they had a better game plan, or maybe they're just physically gifted in some way that beat you that night. You're looking at your options. You're looking at your life. And at some point in time, if you don't get serious, I'm not saying become a serious guy, become a big serious guy. It's like, oh, he's upset and miserable, and like he's got to be checking everybody all the time because somebody's, you can't let nobody walk over you, talk over you, or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just getting real, being serious. Get serious about. Like you can tell when someone's taking something seriously, or they're not. And so, are they paying attention? Are they focused? Are they distracted? Or are they showing up on time? Are they leaving early? Are they just dragging their feet? Do they act like they want to be there? All those things. Ask yourself all those things about yourself. Observe those things in yourself. Is your heart in it? Are you really there for the right reasons? And it's still like, it feels like a bit hole this big, and I'm like slowly dialing it in, trying to get down to like a pinpoint, if that makes sense, of like what I'm focused on. What am I trying to achieve? The goal is like getting more and more clear. Like when you rack focus on, it's getting very clear what it is I'm trying to achieve. I'll be honest with you guys. When I first started out, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And I was like, I had no idea what I was trying to do or how to do it or where I was trying to end up. I didn't really have a clear picture of, anyway, trying to say that as soon as I started taking this seriously, it started taking off. I started to learn more about what I was doing wrong, and so I can do better, right? So anyway, I think it's just a better life. And, you can live your life trying to do everything. That's fine. You can be that guy, but something's gonna give. You can try to be a good husband, a good dad, a good an athlete, a business owner, and you can achieve that. But like, just be okay that something's gonna give, right? And so you might have people looking at you like, "Damn, this guy's incredible. He can do it all. He's on top of it." But just know that like behind the scenes, something's gonna give. Like your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your kids, or your business, or your sleep, or your health. Like something like so. What I'm saying is, I think it's best if you just go all in on one thing, really hyper focus on one thing. But that's just me personally. Like that's my opinion. That's my philosophy. My outlook on life. There's a million ways to go do this thing. It's okay to have hobbies and fucking things that you just are interested in. Yeah, it's okay to have interests, pursue interests, and just try shit, bro. Like if you like music, but you only want to practice like twice a week, well, that's fine. You don't have to practice every day. You don't have to be insane. But yeah, that's probably been one of my biggest life lessons, guys. It's just feeling like I'm all over the place, and now I feel like I'm finally giving myself some structure. Not that I hadn't experienced that before. Obviously, I was in the Marine Corps, and when you're in the Marines, man, you get a lot of structure. but more like it's been very powerful to give it to myself and to say, okay, nope, when the day starts, we're going to do these things, right? Having discipline. Again, discipline means we're going to do this whether we feel like it or not. We're sticking to the plan no matter how we feel. You know, on this show, we talk about reality, the nature of reality, right? It's like a quasi-philosophy show. And philosophy is the study of the nature of reality, right? It's examining reality and trying to ask questions and examine what is going on. You know, you look around you, and you're like, what is going on? What are we doing? You know, you look around, everybody's going to work, fucked up things keep happening on the news, and all of it kind of leads me to this conclusion, right, that America is a great place. I'm going to preface that with, I think it's a beautiful country filled with beautiful people, and I love it here, okay? I'm a patriot. I fucking love this country, and I want to see Americans win. I'm Team America all the way. But let's be real for a second. This country is a big slave plantation. You get out of high school after 12 years of psychological programming to go be a wage slave or a debt slave. Sometimes both. Yeah, so lately, Trump's biggest thing right now is that he's selling Truth Social access to his tweets or to his Truth fucking posts, okay? And early access. So basically what it is he's creating a insider trading situation where everyone that's going to get early access to his posts is going to get, obviously, information on news and updates that are going to affect stock prices. And also, there's these apps people are using like Kalshi or whatever to bet on current events, like real-time things. So we're living, my point is, everything I just explained, if you told somebody 100 years ago all that stuff, their mind would explode. They wouldn't understand that, first of all, what the internet is, that there's this whole invisible space where people are making billions of dollars, starting businesses, creating art and all this. It would blow their mind. Like, they wouldn't be able to conceptualize it. It's like a hidden fifth dimension you can't see, basically. And, basically what you gotta realize, if your mind is still blown, if you're still surprised about everything going on in this country right now, okay, again, not talking politics, not talking politicians, not talking specific policy. You guys fucking know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the current state of our reality. I'm not talking about any one politician. You fucking know who I'm talking about, okay? We live in a fucking a casino. We live in a big casino. America is a big casino, and you get to play to try to win it all. But you gotta have money to play. It's a pay-to-play system. You want to start a business? You got to put some money up. You want to buy a business? You gotta put some money up. Capitalism is a game. It's not an economic system. It's a game. And there's players. There's some real big players, and then there's everybody else who's just kind of like again, like the casino. It's like there's people having fun at the casino, and then there's the workers. There's the people cleaning the bathroom and sweeping the floors and vacuuming the disgusting cigarette smoke-filled carpets. Those disgusting shag carpets that casinos still have. Those thick fur fucking disgusting casino carpets. So if you're not at the table playing the game, right, running a business, you're one of the workers. You're one of the wage slaves. You're the dealer. You're the guy cleaning the bathroom, or you're one of the cashiers giving people money for their chips or taking people's money and giving them chips. And it's kind of like that. So it's like you're either a slave owner or you're a slave. That's how this country fucking works. You could be a comfortable slave. You could be a slave with a little bit of money, but you're still a fucking slave. If you have to be at work tomorrow, you're a fucking slave. If you don't show up tomorrow, and okay, I'm not trying, again, I say this all the time, and I'm almost about to stop saying it because I hate how it takes away from my point, is I'm not trying to disparage, obviously, or take away from what happened during chattel slavery. But to be completely honest, every race in history has been enslaved, and it's crazy to me that we think this modern day is any different. There's millions of slaves in Asia, in Africa, making all your clothes and mining all your natural resources. And to be completely honest, if you think getting paid $8 an hour isn't slavery, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to open your eyes to anything, almost, because I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what I could say to you to get you to where I am, because it's like you're not living in reality. It's as if you aren't seeing what I'm seeing. You're seeing a different version of reality, which is very true because, again, perception is reality and people's life experiences shape how they perceive the world and stuff. So, point is, not trying to say, no, I'm not making a judgment call either way on this. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying what it is. America's a big fucking casino. You gotta have money to play. And if you don't, you're one of the wage slaves. You're one of the wage slaves in the casino. You're cleaning the bathroom. You're a dealer. You're a cashier, or you're one of the guys working security. That's it. That's the whole thing, right? You go work at a bank. You can go be a cop or work in the military. Or you could be a janitor. That's pretty much like your career options in this country. Or you can go play the game, right? You can go gamble. You can go, because it is risk. Right? Like if you're asking why your life hasn't changed very much, what have you risked? There's no reward without a risk. Like it just doesn't happen. Exercise. You don't get to feel good about yourself and have a great body if you don't exercise and eat right. There's no reward without a sacrifice. Right? No struggle, no story. So if you feel like your life is really boring, or your life is very uninteresting, ask yourself, how much are you struggling in your day? And I don't mean like struggling to get through the drive-thru because it's a half-hour wait at Starbucks. I don't mean struggling like you're sitting in traffic because you're sitting in 45 minutes of traffic in some big city to get 2 hours of traffic to get to your stupid dumbass slave wage job. I'm talking about real struggle. I'm gonna let you define it. I like where you found out a little bit more about who you are, where you were forced to look inside and make a conscious decision to keep going and not quit, where it wasn't just automatic, where you had to like say, fuck, this sucks, do I really got to keep doing this? That's struggle. When you fucking throw your hands up and you're pulling your hair out and you're like, this is tough, and I don't have to do it. I could quit right now. I could leave. That's struggle. When it's like friction, real friction, Because then that's the essence of a story. You want to find out what happened next. Okay, yeah, he was in it and he was struggling and he was really going through it. What happened next? And everybody wants to find out. So, like, if you're a side note, if you're a writer, you're like, man, this sucks. It's uninteresting. Are the characters struggling? What are they struggling with? Are the struggles relatable or entertaining or exciting or whatever? Sometimes a small struggle is more interesting than a big struggle because it's more relatable and more interesting and more realistic. It's convincing because you look at this character. This is a real struggle that this character would struggle with. Instead, you look at, like, that's part of the reason Marvel movies are uninteresting, because or at least to an adult. Obviously, to kids, it's like action figures getting smashed together and it's awesome, right? But like to an adult, Marvel movies are uninteresting because it's like, what's the struggle? These people are invincible, and you know none of them are gonna die because it's a kid movie. You know, like anyway, America. It's a big slave plantation. It's a big slave plantation. We got millions of people not being paid for their labor in private prisons. Again, not making a judgment call. Not saying it's good or bad. Just saying it's what it is. We got millions of people getting paid less than $10 an hour to do horrible work in this country. So it's like we there are slaves right now, and you can still be a slave owner. You have to just go start a business. Now we call it a business owner. We started calling it a bit. We changed the label to an object, something to objectify other than a human. We can't objectify humans anymore because it's immoral, right? So we say business owner. You're a slave owner. If you're paying your people less than $15 an hour, you have slaves. The economy is so bad right now. You can't again. So again, I'm not making the judgment call. I'm not judging you if you're one of the slave owners. Good, fucking go. I hope you get more. I hope you get more. You're probably, if you're a small business owner of this country, you probably worked your fucking ass off and risked a lot to make that happen. Which is very different than someone who's born with a ton of money and like. Again, I'm not trying to even get into all that. It's honestly just lame. When you start critiquing capitalism and sitting here talking about people with a lot of money or the elites, whatever, like the people who run these big tech companies and own the oil and gas companies and stuff, you almost just sound like a pussy. You're just sitting here just like outing yourself as a total broke motherfucker, right? Because people with money don't give a fuck. People who are doing good don't give a fuck. They're doing good. They're not trying to change the system because the system is working for them. By the way, if you're older, like you're older generation, and you're confused why young people are so upset and like anti-America right now, again, I love this country. I'm a patriot, but I'm going to try to explain it to you real quick. You have to be bought in to give a fuck. There are a lot of young people upset with the country. First of all, because we have the internet and we're watching a bunch of wars that your tax dollars are paying for on your phone. Okay, it'd be different if it was like California's being invaded. Then okay, yeah, fuck yeah, send in the fucking Marines. Let's make something happen. But like, just more war in the Middle East, more foreign aid. It's just like, and on top of that, it's our tax dollars that they're using it for. And again, old people, if you're wondering why young people are disenfranchised and not bought in, it's because young people don't, by and large, own property. So if you don't own property, you don't care about your community because, you know, you're not bought in. Like you're in your back of your head, you're kind of already thinking like, is this temporary, or am I gonna be settling here for real? You know, and so it's like, and people are having less and less kids than ever. So there's very little buy-in in the community, the physical community you exist in. Everyone's spending more and more time online, so there's even less buy-in. Like people are hanging out less and less. And so you look at what America is, right? You say, what is America? You start asking, what is America? Even if it's subconscious. This is happening, by the way. If it's not intentional, this question is being asked by every single young person. What is America? What am I actually a part of? Are you following me so far? There's young people right now asking, like, I've been told to love my country and love my government and love everything that we do and that we're the best country ever for my whole life. But I don't have any kids, so I'm not going to like parent-teacher conferences. I'm not going to city council meetings. I don't own a house. So like I care even less about, like, when you rent an apartment, you're like trashing the place. Like you fucking fuck the carpet up, you fuck the walls up, you fucking leave shit. You like kind of don't clean up as much. I mean, especially if you're already a gross person, you're like even more disgusting when you rent. And anyway, my point is, it's like it shouldn't be a surprise. And not to mention, like, let's just talk about the stock market. You know, people in their 40s and up talk about the stock market and how it's doing good, and they're like, "Oh, this is great. We love Trump. Stock market's doing great." Well, if you're not bought in, like if you haven't been investing right? Or you don't have the same liquid capital and the same company stock match things that boomers had coming up, right? You add up all these things, right? Less free cash at the end of the month after you pay all your bills, more expensive everything because of inflation, and also seeing how like some of the shadier things that you didn't know about your country that your tax dollars pay for. You put all that together, and you have like what's for lack of a better term, a very like disenfranchised, I guess is probably the best word. You got a lot of people who are disenfranchised. They're like, I don't have ownership of any of this. I don't own the land. I don't own any piece of the business or the stock. So like when businesses are doing good, that's usually a good thing for most people because they own stock in the business. So that means they're doing good. If the business is doing good, they're doing good. And so now it's like you see people like they're bankrupt from their having a big hospital bill. So like my point is like the average person, the average American, more and more, the average working class guy who's not making a whole lot of money, isn't bought into the system. So of course he doesn't trust the system. He doesn't like the system. People defend the system when they're benefiting from it. No, don't cut my food stamps. I'm getting food stamps. No, don't cut my state health insurance. I'm getting health insurance, right? So on the lower end of the socioeconomic system, right? You've got people defending the system, and then on the upper end, you have people defending the system, the ownership system. Does that make sense? Because it's like, of course they like the way things are going. It's going good for them. It's benefiting them. So my take on it is figure out how you want to play. America's a big playground. It's a big casino. Figure out which part you want to play, how you want to play the game. It's a big game. Life's a big game. You got to figure out how you want to play. Do you want to be the guy making the risk, taking the risk, trying to set the example, pushing the envelope out ahead, trying to make shit happen, making deals, hustling? Do you want to be just like, hey, I'm gonna stay in my section. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna get really good at what I do, and then I'm gonna go take care of my family. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna boom, boom, boom. These are both good options, And so it's just kind of like, in my opinion, instead of being upset about it and trying to like change it, because you're not gonna fucking change it. Okay? There's people with a ton of money trying to change it and they can't. So just focus on you, dog. Focus on you. Focus on how to make your life good, and then that'll lift up the people around you, which is what we all want, right? We want to be able to take care of our families. I say all that because my greater point earlier, and theme for this show, I guess, kind of, is that fear is an illusion. Do not let your life be dictated by something that doesn't even exist. An illusion is something that does not exist, right? So, part of why people are feeling so angsty and upset about everything going on in the country right now is because maybe you had a strong sense of security that is now being shattered, right? Or you've never had one, whatever. In either case, the result is the same, is that you are left with this feeling that things are not okay. Insecurity. Security means things are secure. It means things are okay. If things are unsecure, insecure, it means they're not okay, right? And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is fear is a great illusion, and so is security. So, what am I trying to say with that? You can get to a point in your life where you feel really secure. You're like, job unlock, investments unlock, got my girl, everything's good there. Got my routine, my gym routine, my diet dialed in, everything. And so you get this sense of security. Okay? And I want to speak to the people who aren't feeling that way right now for a second and remind you that that feeling is also an illusion. So fear is an illusion, and so is a sense of security from that fear. Does that make sense? So you have to almost train yourself or practice, make a habit of when you are feeling that insecurity, to remind yourself, right? Make yourself aware that it is as much of a illusion, of a falsehood, of something that doesn't exist as that fear. And I say that to try to bring you some comfort, to try to get you out of this rumination. Like when you're really fucking broke, you have this idea, this fantasy in your head that one day things could be all good and you wouldn't have to worry anymore. And maybe that's true. But I think, personally, that is actually a never-ending hole. It is a bottomless pit where you keep telling yourself, okay, if I just get to Monday, if I just get a little bit more, okay, well then you got a raise, or you finish school and you got a better job, so you're making more money now. So what's the issue? Why are you still feeling that way? Well, it's because, again, you have a desire for security. You have a desire for a place and time where everything is okay all of the time. At all times, everything is okay. I am good on money. I'm good. My house is good. I'm not worried about leaky roof. I'm not worried about someone breaking in, like, because I'm in a bad neighborhood. So like, you can go so far with that, is what I'm really trying to say. Okay, before it's not about security anymore, like actual physical security where it's life and death, or where it's health. Does that make sense? Like, so like living in a nicer neighborhood is obviously good for your mental health and good for your safety, your physical health, because if there's gangbangers and drug dealers and freaking murderers and stuff running around, like, yeah, you don't want to fucking live next door to that. You don't want to catch a stray. You don't want to get stabbed. You don't want your car getting broken into. Outside of that, outside of those actual real life and death physical consequences, security is an illusion, and it is something that you just need to be ever working towards. It's continuous. The work is continuous. And that shouldn't stress you out. That should actually bring you comfort and let you take a deep breath and be like, oh, okay. This is never going to be done. I'm going to do what I can today. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Does that make sense? There will never be a day in your life where it's enough if you are constantly saying, I want more. Period. As long as you want more, it'll never be enough. As long as you want more, it'll never be enough. So what do you want? Why do you want it? How much do you want? Like, all those questions, like, you got to answer, big dog, because otherwise you can spend your whole life trying to chase this illusion of security, trying to chase this illusion of I'm all good. Because here's the thing, even when you're not all good, it's all good. I'm telling you, it's all good. Like, on your way to what you want, it's all good. Like, unless someone is like got you shackled up in the basement and they're beating your ass every day, it's all good. Everything's all good. Life is good. And you got to get there. You got to say that to yourself. I can't give that to you. You have to. Peace. Peace is what we all want. And you can't buy peace. Nothing can take or give you peace. Let me repeat that. Nothing can take your peace, and nothing can give you peace. That is the greatest illusion. If you believe that you're at peace or you're feeling happy because of your girl, And guess what? When your girl ain't there, you won't have peace. Or if she leaves you, you won't have peace. You need to realize that is a lie when you blame other people for disturbing your peace. Okay? Now there are people who like really challenge you and make you look inside and like they get you your head. Okay, then you just need to remove yourself from this person. All right, but again, it's like you ever been around somebody who's like, you got a great girl. Why are you upset right now? Why are you mad at her? Everything's great. Why are you tripping? Yeah, and it's because they are tortured inside. They have this thing going on that I'm describing where it's never enough. It's never enough, and they just can't be happy. And so what it is because this person is still making excuses for why they don't have peace. If I just had more money, if I just had a better job, if I just lived somewhere nicer, if I lived somewhere different. You can change where you're living, but if you don't change how you're living, you're not going to change your life. You can change what you do, where you're doing it, how you're doing it, okay? You can change all those things, but you won't actually feel like your life changed unless you really look inside and examine what you want and like why you want it. America is a gigantic slave plantation. It's what it is. You use US dollars to buy stuff from stores in the exact same manner that you would get paid by a coal company and you would get paid company money and spend it in the company store. It was called script. Okay? It's the same exact thing right now. You get paid by your job in US dollars that you can use at the store. Okay? And that system worked really, and it's still working. Again, I'm not trying to say it's not working or it's the cracks are appearing in the foundation. Is all I'm going to say. And that is not my opinion. That is just, I mean, no, I can't buy a private jet. I can't buy the moon. I can't buy front row tickets to your favorite concert or to your favorite game or whatever, okay? Outside of that, I am a free man and I can do whatever I want all day long. Period. I've got money in my savings and I live in a fucking van. So if I'm on a job and somebody's disrespecting me or not paying me what I want or not giving me what I want or this isn't helping my career or helping me develop professionally or whatever, I can fucking leave. I'm a free man. I'm a free fucking man. And you know what? Next week, if I wanted to get a little more money, I could go hustle and get some more money, line up some work, and save up. So my point of all of this is, if you don't like how you're living, you don't like how your life, change it. You can change it. You can make a change. Nobody's telling you got to do what you're doing. And if they are, you don't got to listen to them. You can go do whatever you want. The chains are in your mind. Again, unless you are actually literally physically chained to a wall, the chains are in your mind. I live in a fucking van. And so that feeling of security of like, I've got all of my, especially when you compare it to what everybody in the country is supposed to have, like, it can stress you out. It can be like, oh my God, I'm supposed to have all this. The comparison is the thief of joy there because you're comparing what you have to what you're supposed to have. And again, that's another great illusion. How much money do you need to live the way you want? Sit down and try to write it out. Go ask ChatGPT if you can't figure it out yourself. Type in, say, this is what I want to do with my day. Or, if you want to write out what you want to do with your day, and then figure out how much money you need to do that. Like, you don't need a 5-bedroom house. You don't need 3 cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need all this stuff. And so I'm saying it because the theme for this episode was fear and overcoming fear, not allowing illusions to dictate your life. It'd be like if this forest behind me, right? if there was an illusion of a forest behind me, and I don't see the forest, I just see a clear path. But you see the forest because you're still afraid instead of the clear path. And I keep telling you to come with me. I keep telling you there's a better life. I keep telling you there's a different way to live. And you say, no, I can't leave. There's trees here. There's the dark forest. I could never. And I'm like, no, there's a clear path. I can see it. But you can't see it. I'm the only one that can see it. And I guess that, again, I don't want to turn this into a Christian podcast or whatever, but like that's sort of what trusting God's plan to me feels like is going, making decisions and living your life even when you can't see the way, and just trusting God, trusting life, just trusting that it's all going to be okay. Just saying it's all good, because it is all good. It is all good. Why would you want to live any other way? What have you ever been around somebody who's like constantly wringing their hands and worried about every little thing, and they're afraid things aren't going to go right? It's like it's horrible. It's awful. It's really hard to be around. So, especially if you're trying to make fucking money, bro, you can't be walking around like that, bro. You got to be making shit happen. So, why am I saying all this? Because, look, dude, you can go pay a ton of money for a life you don't even want. You can tell yourself, I gotta make more money because I gotta pay for this life. But like, if you don't even want that life, why are you doing it? Is my point. And so, you could get to a point where you're spending your day how you want. You don't have a lot of money, but you're spending your day how you want. Well, a lot of people, they go and start these businesses because they want financial freedom, or they try to make investments because they want financial freedom. And again, I'm telling you, it's an illusion. It's a lie. You can have freedom right now. You won't have a lot, but that's a different conversation. Yeah, okay. You want nice furniture. You want all the newest things. You want a nice big place. You want to have a bunch of goddamn things. Okay, now you need money. I'm trying to let you know exactly what this is. It's the rat race. It's the Matrix. It's the big show. It's the big lie. It's what everybody is participating in. And there's no alternative because it's all built up already. Like you can't even go out west and just like stake out 40 acres and build a cabin and have a garden and hunt, because it doesn't. It's just like. So I'm trying again. I'm not trying to cast judgment on any of it. I'm just learn the game. Learn how it is. Learn what is literally going on. And then decide how, okay, this is what it is. It'd be like if I told you, this is what I'm trying to explain to you, kind of. I'm going to do my best to explain it to you. Ready? It'd be like if we sat down, this is your first time ever playing the board game Monopoly, and I explained to you that you got to roll the dice, and then you remove the piece exactly what the dice tells you. And if you land on it, you buy it, or you auction it off, and one of the other players will buy it. But if I told you, you don't have to play like that. There's actually a lot of other ways to make money other than going around Go. And there's a lot of other ways to acquire property, and there's a lot of other ways to... You can walk, you don't have to follow the board. You can go wherever you want. You can go in the middle of the board, you can walk across the thing, you can walk off the board onto the table, and you can walk into the kitchen. That's kind of what I'm trying to explain to you is, from a very young age in this country, you're put on a set of tracks, and they push you. And that's the track you're going to be on for the rest of your life, especially if you get into a groove. You're going to work your job, you're going to buy your little house, you're going to have your little fucking shitty family that you don't even want, and you're going to spend the rest of your life making each other miserable. That's the American dream now. And you're going to be a wage slave and a debt slave. And you're going to fucking blow your brains out behind an Arby's while your wife's calling. And they're not going to find you until the next day because she doesn't even have your location. That's how much you guys hate each other. Your wife doesn't even have your location on your phone. Again, I'm not telling you what's out here is better, because again, that's another illusion. That's another lie. It's another form of comparison, and we're trying to get away from all the lies. We're trying to live in the light. We're trying to live in truth. And so, what's the truth? Everything is crazy unaffordable, and you can go and live your life exactly how they told you to. But, like we said earlier, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. So if you commit to that plan, that's okay. That's a great life still. But just wave goodbye to absolutely everything else. And if you go off the tracks and you try to go your way, not saying you can't go back on the tracks and like go get back into a job and get a family, and just be okay with it going a different direction, and maybe some of those things not happening is what I'm trying to say. Is because again, the illusion of security, you choose that way, that might not work out either, because it feels like you're on tracks. It feels like you're on a good path, a set path, a secure path. And then you realize that the tracks were an illusion, and they actually just pushed you out into the cold, and you've just been on autopilot. And that's why it felt like you were on a good track. You were secure because you weren't making conscious decisions. You weren't leading your life. You weren't leading your own life. You were just kind of doing whatever. And again, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm not saying that that's a wrong way to live, or that you can't be extremely happy doing that and have a lot of peace doing that. Fuck it. You'll probably be miserable if you try to live how I'm living. Just stay doing what you're doing. But I'm just trying to tell you that there's another way. There's another way to live. There's another way to do everything. There's another way to do everything. You have to have money. You got to go make money. I'm not saying that money does not matter. Money's not important. I'm saying you don't need it to be happy, and you certainly don't need as much of it as you think you do to live the life you want. That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to say it every goddamn week on this fucking show until I'm dead, because this country worships money. This country worships money. How do I know that? Because it's more than a worship. It's an obsession. When you worship something, at least you have respect for it, or maybe respect's the wrong word. You have a reverence for something that you worship. Like you revere, you look at it and you're like, wow, I'm like, oh wow, like this. You're in awe of it, and you respect it, and you give it its time. You don't do that with money. You don't respect money or give it time to breathe or keep or work for you. You fucking go and blow it immediately. And then you obsess over it even more. You literally worship and obsess over money. And I know what you're thinking already, most of you. You're like, oh, but Sebastian, you need money to pay bills. You need money to blah, 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 blah. Okay. Do you? Who told you that? Who the fuck told you? All the things I like to do don't cost a lot of money. I like hunting and fishing. Again, if you want to you could kit yourself out like a gear queer and go buy $15,000 worth of shit and a really expensive rifle you don't fucking need and a bunch of fucking other bullshit. Or you could go hunting with a fucking $200 30-06 and slay deer all day in blue jeans. Like, you don't need a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, okay, yeah, go fucking, yeah, you could go be a gear queer and fucking get, a bunch of shit and fucking think you're, and again, not trying to judge you. If that's how you want to spend your money, that's fine. My overall point is, you don't need money! You don't need it. You want it. You want money. You want money. Again, I'm not saying that it doesn't make your life a whole lot more comfortable. It fucking surely does. But then you got to be, unless you want to go again, unless you want to go figure out how to be one of the owners, even in a small way. Okay, like for me, for myself, like I'm trying to be self-employed the rest of my life. That's what I do. I make my own money. I make my own money. I like being a contractor. 1099. I like showing up, doing a job, leaving, getting paid. I don't like the idea of having to be somewhere tomorrow. No. Cause like if I don't want to be there, it's like, again, I'm not talking about want, like your superficial wants, like you want ice cream or you want a girl with fat tits. I'm talking about like, nah, this sucks and this is gay. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm fucking leaving. That's what I'm talking about. Like somebody comes in with a terrible plan that's going to get everybody killed or like lose a ton of money. You can be like, that's retarded. I'm going to leave. You can do that when you're self-employed. Well, again, unless you put yourself in a situation where you need the money or you're going to lose your house and your family and a bunch of other shit. So like, this whole video probably could have been 30 seconds long, but so could every fucking video, okay? You listened for your little commute to work or while you're taking a shit and wiping your ass. So maybe you're listening to this while you're making your dinner. I hope this was all great and helpful. I'm going to be doing this every week. It's your little weekly dose of Seabass, all right? So, yeah, I don't know. I just like the idea of discussing the truth on this show and discussing the way things really are. Which is a tough thing to do because sometimes you never really know how things really are. You never know. And that's the truth maybe, is that you never really know, you never will know how things really are. You can kind of get close to like, I kind of think that's how things are. But, I don't know. Just never ends. So, am I telling you to go live in a van? No. But I'm telling you that do not be afraid. Fear is used to control you. Because if someone can make you fearful, now they're controlling how you feel. And if you want to control someone, you have to control how they feel. If you want to change someone's behavior, you have to change how they feel. So what does the media do? They get you to be afraid. They get you to be afraid of immigrants, or they get you to be afraid of socialism, or they get you to be afraid of communism, or they get you to be afraid of terrorists, or they get you to be afraid of fear, right? So yeah, you are being manipulated constantly as soon as you open your phone. Companies are trying to manipulate you. They're trying to manipulate you into feeling a certain way about their product or an idea so that way you buy their product or service. Like, how do you sell pesticide? How do you sell, like, pest killer? You get people to be afraid of pests. So you run commercials that shows pests in people's home, and you say things like, "Did you know that if you don't spray for pests every year, you're gonna get them?" Like that. So like it's like that's the whole fucking thing, dude. It's trying to get you to be afraid. It happens in relationships all the time. You might have a bitch try to tell you that if you don't get your shit together, she's done. She's trying to change how you feel, so she can change your behavior. She's trying to get you to be afraid. So like, don't be afraid. Okay, bitch, leave. I'm good, bro. Like, I'm from West Virginia, but then I spent a decade in Huntington, so sometimes I talk like, like, sometimes I talk like I'm country, and sometimes I talk like country, like hood country, or whatever you would call it. Like, I don't even know. That's just how I talk. I don't give a fuck. Last little thing I'll talk about, and then we're going to end it. I had somebody ask the other day why I don't do van life content because, for about the last year, I've been living in my van. And I stay with friends and family, right? So I'm not like full-time living in it, okay? I go crash on somebody's couch. I go stay back in West Virginia and, do laundry, chill out for a couple of days. But the reason I don't do van life content is because it fucking sucks. Living in your van fucking sucks. Like, I'm doing it to, like, upgrade my life. I'm doing it so I don't have to pay rent while I hustle and try to stack money and make all this other shit happen. And I can be mobile and go where the money is. I'm not doing it because it's fun. It's like the worst sleepover ever. You ever been to like your poor friend's house to have a sleepover and there's no games, there's no snacks, it smells like cigarettes and cat piss. Living in a van fucking blows dick. It's uncomfortable. There's no climate control back there. Okay, so it's just, if it's hot outside, it's hot in the van. If it's cold outside, it's cold in the van. There's no fridge, so if I fucking want food, I have to go spend $40 fucking on takeout. And forget having bitches over. You're not having bitches over in the van. Like, maybe if you got it like that, you can pull bitches and you can fuck bitches in the van. Like, it's way easier to bring bitches back if you got a nice crib. Period. You know what I'm saying? I got some really funny fucking stories I'll tell you guys sometime about the van. But basically, just to cover that real quick, the reason I don't make van life content is because, social media content is supposed to be aspirational or inspirational, or something like, you're supposed to look at social media and be like, wow, this is a sexy bitch. I fucking want to fuck her. Or if girls will be like, I want to be like her, so guys want to fuck me and get attention. Or you look at social media and you're like, that's a nice watch. I want that shit. Or you watch something entertaining and something really funny. This is not aspirational or inspirational. Living in a van is a nightmare. I'm sleeping outside of fucking gas stations so I can have a place to take a shit in the middle of the night, and I gotta listen to homeless people fucking scream outside while they're going through fucking withdrawal. Like literally the other night, I heard like a blood curdling scream in the alley behind the gas station, and the first month of doing van life, I was like really startled when something like that happened. I literally just like peeped my head up and just went right back to bed when that shit happened. It's just like, I just expect it now, So it's like, it's, and the other part about it too is it's like, it's not as much of an adventure as you think it is. Like, they show off all like the cool places and stuff they're going, but like, I'm driving around like cities, like trying to do stand up and make business connections and stuff. So it's like, I'm not getting all these pretty mountain views with my van usually. Like, obviously I'm in a pretty spot right now, but how I'm doing van life right now is not like Rocky Mountain High fucking sexy granola girl with braids fucking, like, nah. It fucking sucks. You got fucking like 2 inches of breathing room after you lay down in your cot, and it's hot in the summer. So I don't know. I'll tell you guys, it is fun, but all that to say, then you don't have to pay rent, and if you've got a mission, right, you can go put yourself on them and you can commit to it fully. But even that's kind of a lie, because it's like, there are definitely times where it'd be way easier if I just had a fucking apartment and could go home and shower and eat a meal. There's times where I'm reminded of that saying, like, it's more expensive to be poor. You guys ever heard that before? It's like, poverty is more expensive. Like, when you can't fix your car, it costs you more than if you just had the money to fucking pay to fix your car. Like, it fucks up your whole routine. You're not like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, when you don't have money to fix a leaking roof, right? And the roof just leaks and fucking destroys your ceiling and a bunch of furniture and the floor now, and now you got water damage, and it just fucked up your drywall now. So like, that's more expensive than if you just fix the fucking roof. So anyway, recap. You're a slave. America's a slave plantation. Don't want things. If you want things, that's what causes unhappiness. And you can free yourself anytime you want. Fear is an illusion. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome fucking week. Love you.